For some reason, whenever I watch this woman open her mouth, I want to just... Glee is gay men just for the sake of being black. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mr. Kev. As you've already clicked on the thumbnail, I'm assuming you know what this is all about. It's about Glee. First season. For people who don't know what Glee is, Glee follows this a cappella group, New Direction, and it's called the Glee Club for some reason. And we follow the teacher who takes up the Glee Club because he was part of the Glee Club in the same school back in his days.
When I went to school here, Glee Club ruled this place.
And he tries to inspire students to join. So we find a misfit of diverse individuals come together to form this Glee Club. It's always a misfit group. Let's talk about the negatives first, and then I'll move into something that is the saving grace. Glee is sort of like a musical.
This here's a tale for all the fellas trying to do what those ladies tell us.
But not really. There is a cappella.
Wait a minute, y'all. Now this dance ain't for everybody.
But not really. A misfit of individuals from various diverse class groups within the whole high school community come together to form a Glee Club. If they were good, I would understand. But I don't know if you will want to listen to them. That was my reaction when I was listening to it. Something like a Pitch Perfect is what I assumed when I thought Glee. And I like Pitch Perfect. Let's be honest here, most of these songs are covers. Not most, 99% of it is covers.
She loves to laugh, she loves to sing, she does everything.
I don't know how you can classify it as good or bad because, these are subjective things. I border on this line of it being not so good. It's meh. So let's come to the second point, which I think is very important over here. 70 to 80% of the covers that I hear is bad.
You tell me your name.
It's either auto-tune or it's a karaoke version.
Having my baby.
Like, I would prefer if it's a drunk singing at a karaoke bar.
What would I do without your smart mouth drawing me in? How you kicking me out?
And it's out of tune. Over the auto-tuned, hyper-processed audio that you get to hear on the Glee first season.
I made up my mind, I'm keeping my baby.
So far, I've only seen the first season. If you have comments about the second, the third and fourth, it gets better. Do let me know which season you like the best. If you're liking this episode so far, you should follow me on Instagram because I keep updating whenever I watch Glee episodes. On my stories, I put up a reaction video of some of the scenes that I'm watching and it's instant, impromptu. So go follow me on Instagram. There is a highlight reel for you guys if you want to watch some of the reaction videos. It's not there on this particular episode, but you can check them out on Instagram. I highly recommend it. Losing my shit over it is always fun. Now let's move on with the video. Meanwhile, let me tell you the third part which kind of like irked me. This is stereotypes and caricaturish characters. There is a token black woman in this particular show just for the sake of being black.
I've worked just as hard as you and I'm just as good as you. You know, you always end up stealing the spotlight.
There is a token Asian character.
Wanna try you on, I'm curious for you.
There is a token differently abled person. We'll come to that in a bit. And these are all caricatures. One of the main characters is this character called Rachel, okay? So hyper caricaturized that I couldn't deal with half of the stuff that she's saying. She's supposed to be an annoying character.
Honestly, think you're as strong of a balladeer as I am.
Okay, I'll tell you the difference. Let's take something like Mean Girls, which has highly caricaturized characters.
I want to lose 3 pounds.
That's the difference between the characters in Mean Girls, who are mean, the mean girls in Mean Girls, and Rachel. Rachel is one of those Mean Girls type of characters who is annoying in the show, who in turn annoys us.
I made us his and her relationship calendars.
For some reason, whenever I watch this woman open her mouth, I want to just... I don't know how it translates like that. Usually when you see such characters, you would enjoy such characters. I don't know, for some reason, this Rachel character just does not work for me. And she's the main character. We get to see a huge chunk of it. There is this other thing that I want to talk about. The high school teacher that we're talking about, right? This man's wife, she pretends to be pregnant for months together. Not once this man knows. You know how Indian serials are?
I really thought I was pregnant. And then the doctor, he said it was a hysterical pregnancy.
I had like this whole breeze attack of like, so let's move on to the next part of it, which is the acting. Oof, there are some really cringe dialogues and some really cringe acting. Especially the main two teenage kids who are technically the lead of the Glee Club.
I don't know how to say this, but it touched something in me. Right here.
Your heart's on the other side of it.
You know, usually these teenage shows find a way to portray it in a very like a cutesy manner.
It's beating really hard.
This was straight out cringe, man. I don't know what to say. There is this other character who is a teenage girl who's pregnant in the show.
I can see it. Your face is glowing. I can see it in your eyes. I'm happy you know it. That you're having my baby.
This character is called Quinn. It's Diana Agron. Diana Agron is someone I watched for the first time in I Am Number 4.
You know, they should have called this town Ironic.
Ironic, Ohio.
So I had a huge crush on her when I saw that film.
It's like my own personal BS detector.
In this show, she is this teenage girl who does cheerleading. The cheerleading team is called Cheerios. She's the head cheerleader of that cheerleading team. And she's also a part of this chastity group. She's actually impregnated by the Mohawk head, Noah Puck Puckerman. He's known as Puck in the show. Showing teenage pregnancy and trying to normalize it, I get that side of things. But
I'm pregnant.
Finn Hudson thinks he's the father
What?
because he shared a bathtub.
Oh, but we were wearing our swimsuits.
As Jude said, a hot tub is the perfect temperature for sperm. It helps it swim faster.
Quinn convinced this guy that because they shared the same bathtub, this is what the writers thought. Like, I don't know, man, you guys need to have better writers. This is all I'd say. Moving on to the fifth point. Gay men getting bad rep. Kurt Hummel is gay in this show and he's openly gay. It's a bold move. This character has an infatuation with this Finn Hudson guy.
It'll mess up my hair.
Put your helmet on.
The other guy is straight. This kid pursues that kid, trying to turn the straight kid gay. Why? What did you guys think? When you write a character, you want the characteristic traits of the character to pop out, right? One of the characteristic traits of this gay character is that they dress well. They are very passionate about singing. They are very good at it. This person is also great, let me tell you, as a friend.
What are you doing?
It's called taking one for the team.
He'll go to any extent to help you out. This is the kind of traits that I take from this particular character. This is not like it's back in the early 2000s or late 90s or before that. This is a show that's written like 2011, 2010. That caricaturization kind of like irritated me, annoyed me. There's another reason why I say they give gay men a bad reputation. The Rachel character, she has two dads, basically gay parents, right? Never once in the show they show her parents. And when this person is talking about the parent, there are certain moments where she says they're very loving fathers, and they also show a certain moment where she is uncomfortable because the parents are pushy in certain ways and whatnot. But that's what annoys me. You don't show the characters. It was a great moment if you would have shown those two parents. You get to see most of the characters and their parents. And let me remind you, this Rachel character is a main character. I'll tell you why this pisses me off. Rachel is basically a kid that they got by a surrogate mother. In this particular season, they talk about this surrogate mother. She pursues her surrogate mother. But never once do they show Rachel's actual parents. But they go behind Rachel's birth mother. Why? Why do you have to do that? They had a wonderful opportunity to write gay characters, but they lost it. Sixth point. Diversity. We have so much of diversity preaching that's written into the show. The main characters are all white. You can argue that there is that one token black woman, Mercedes, and no offense, she's great. She's a great actor. She's amazing vocalist. In fact, I would argue that Mercedes is the best vocalist amongst all of them.
Love me, love me, love.
But she's not leading the show anywhere. And there is a lot of talking about diversity. There is this wheelchair bound character called Artie, okay? And there's this episode specifically mentioned. It's called Wheels, specifically to talk about how Artie is differently abled and is wheelchair bound. They can't move out of this wheelchair because of the constraint and the problems that they face, right?
I don't know if you guys really understand how much harder Artie has to work just to keep up.
Preach.
For such a person to get represented in shows, get represented in music, in films and whatnot.
For the next week, each of you is going to spend 3 hours a day in a wheelchair.
Noelle, we're making you into a traditionally African woman with a head wrap and everything.
Is definitely an exciting experience.
Later on, I was mind blown because there is this one episode where Artie is dreaming about him dancing. And I see the actor get out of his chair and start dancing.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave the old friends behind.
What is the preaching for if you guys are not taking your advice? It was a great opportunity for someone who is a great musician, who is a great singer, and who is a teenager on a wheelchair to get this opportunity. That would have been more than enough. You know what? Please don't preach if you can't incorporate these things. That said, let's move on to the saving grace in this show. There are 3 points that I've written down, but with caveats, okay? First one would be Sue Storm.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Sue Storm is the head of this cheerleading group called Cheerios. She's the coach of the Cheerios team. A great actor. She is the only reason I would watch Glee. That's how good of an actor she is.
You are a fatuous, dim-witted, borderline pederast who tears up faster than a gay jihadi in a sandstorm. You have befouled the profession of teaching.
But let me tell you, the character is so badly written that I just wanted to whip all of the writers. You guys have a great character. Why do you have to kill the character? See, this is a character who is stone cold outside and soft on the inside, right? There are lots of ways to show that. But they go and do the most weirdest thing with the characters, dude. Coming back to the saving graces. Point number 2, there are some amazing singers and they are not the lead characters. I honestly don't like Rachel's voice. All she does is belting out, belting out, belting out. I'm not someone who enjoys that, but maybe there are people out there who like something like that. I'm not one of them. That said, there are some kick-ass singers, but they auto-tune the shit out of it, so I don't get a chance to enjoy them all the time. There are a few moments when they don't overdo with the auto-tune. For me, the third point has to be the cringe fest. I enjoy Cringe Fest when I see one. I don't know about you guys, but for me, Cringe is amazing. That was my experience watching Glee, the first season. Let me know what you guys thought I missed. Let me know what else you think I should be expecting to look forward when I'm watching more episodes of Glee. I'm of course watching the second season right now, and the review for that will be coming very soon. Until then, stay tuned, watch more of my other videos. They're all linked up over here. Thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you guys on the next one.